word to word meaning. Shri Narad Uvacha. Narad Muni said, Prarada Prahlad Maharaj. Api also. Tatha in that way. Chakre executed. Pituhu of his father. Yat whatever. Sampraikam ritualistic ceremonies performed after death. Yatha even as. Aha order. Bhagavan the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rajan O King Yudhishthir. Abhisiktaha he was enthroned in the kingdom. Dvijatibihi by the Brahmanas present. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Shri Narad Muni continued. Thus, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead ordered, Prahlad Maharaj performed the ritualistic ceremonies for his father. O King Yudhishthir, he was then enthroned in the kingdom of Hiranyakashipu, as directed by the Brahmanas. Purport. It is essential that the society be divided into four groups of men: Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. Here we see that although Prahlad was perfect in every respect, he nonetheless followed the instructions of the Brahmanas who performed the Vedic rituals. Therefore, in society, there must be a very intelligent class of leaders who are well versed in Vedic knowledge, so they can guide the entire populace to follow the Vedic principles and thus gradually become most perfect and eligible to return home back to Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Amne Gauratvishe Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Radha Rasbihari ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki. So I would like to take special blessings from Praneshwar Prabhu, who is also my guide in my Bhakti Shastri, which I am currently doing. So in this verse, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that the society should be guided by a very intelligent class of leaders and intelligent class of people who Prabhupada is referring to here as Brahmanas. So as Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Yajjad Atrati Sheshtas Tat Eve Tarojana. So yat pramatam kurute lokastad anuvartate. So whatever the leaders in the society will do, the common public will generally follow it. So the leaders of the society should be so trained that they can guide the general populace in Vedic principles, in Vedic education, so that everyone becomes perfect, and they can achieve the ultimate goal of life, which is going back to Godhead. So, when Prabhupada, as soon as in 1965, when he arrived in America, and into 1966, which is the establishment year of ISKCON, and now we are celebrating the 50 years. So, Prabhupada wanted to establish the Brahmanical order there among the Western people or in the Western world, so that in future the deities and the deities which he is going to install will be worshipped by this Brahmanical class of people, and also they will be preaching. So both men and women. So Prabhupada recruited these Brahmanas because to do preaching effectively, one has to be pure in the heart, and it's not a question of some knowledge, or with just by reading some knowledge or by memorizing some shlokas, but to effectively preach, Prabhupada wanted that the Brahmanical class of people should be there who are very pure. So, and Prabhupada never wanted to import this Brahmanical class of people from India. He wanted to recruit them among the Americans. So this was something very revolutionary. Revolutionary in one sense, but in the sense of Krishna or God, it was not very revolutionary in that sense. It was very common. So Prabhupada initiated his disciples into Brahman initiation, and for this, in those days, of course, now it has become a history. Now we don't discuss it so much, but in those days, when the news reached to India that the disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has gone to the Western world, and he has initiated disciple from among the Malechas and so-called Malechas and Yavanas. So it created a big tsunami kind of thing here in India. People were, and especially the smart Brahmanas, they were very upset, and they were often criticizing Prabhupada. So nowadays we don't see this so much in our society, but in those days it was very prominent. So, but still, even today also, we see there is a certain class of people who still feel that only Brahmanas are eligible, or only the children who are born in the Brahmanical family can become real Brahmanas, and no one else. But if we see, Brahmanas are actually the representative of Krishna. They are God on earth. In the sense, not that they are God, but they are representatives of God. They can accept the offering on behalf of Krishna. So whenever we offer bhoga to the Lord, we say this prayer: Namo Brahmane Devaya, Go Brahmane Hitaya Cha, Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Nama. So, among the entire creation which is there, Krishna has specifically chosen Brahmanas and the cows. So, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Matta Sarva Pravattate. So, in the entire creation, Krishna says these two things are very dear to me. That is, Brahmanas and cows. Why this is so? Because Brahmanas can educate the general populace, they can instruct the general populace about the real goal of life, which is to go back to Godhead, and cows give the milk which help when we drink that milk, which help to understand the instructions which are given by Brahmanas. So the milk is a miracle food. Prabhupada said many times that if we drink hot milk in the night, it can it can it can be very helpful to the finer tissues of our brains, so that we can understand philosophy very nicely. So, uh, so this milk is very important and very useful thing for our spiritual advancement. And if we don't drink milk, nowadays it's a culture that people are becoming vegans. They call themselves vegan. So if we don't drink milk, then we become vegans, because vegans generally, we agree with them that there should be no cruelty towards the animal. We disagree that the cows are tortured and they are abused. So we also support this their movement that there should be no cruelty towards any living entities. S- Uh, so Brahmanas, being the representative of God, have to speak about or what God has said. They don't have to concoct anything on their own. So, as Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Mami Partha Vipashrita, Yepi Shu Papa Yonaya, Sriyo Vaishyas Tata Shudra, Tepi Yanti Param Gatim. So Krishna is not saying that only Brahmanas can approach the Supreme Absolute Truth, or only Brahmanas are eligible to attain me. He's clearly saying that even the low class people like Shudras or mercantile community or even women can approach me. So the Brahmanas, by saying that only people born into their community can approach Krishna, is a kind of hypocrisy. And certainly it's very advantageous that if a person is born in a Brahman family, he will certainly have a good chance of becoming a devotee or becoming a Vaishnav. He has a good chance. And Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita 6.41 that Prappa Punya Kritam Lokan Ushitva Sashvati Sama Shrimatam Shuchinam Gehe Yoga Brashto Vijayate. That even if unsuccessful after a short practice, uh, if someone practices Krishna consciousness even for a small time, and if he is unsuccessful, he gets a birth next time in a heavenly planets, and he can enjoy there for a long time. And after that, once he comes down, he get a birth in the family of a Brahmana or a mercantile community. So taking birth in a Brahmana family is certainly very advantageous. So that uh, in the Brahmana family earlier there used to be, of course nowadays even Brahmanas are not that pure, but in earlier days in Brahmana family or most of the families there used to be Garbhadan Sanskar. So by that, even before the conception happens, even before that the Garbhadan Sanskar used to be performed. And because of that, the child which used to take shelter in the womb of that particular mother, he has a very good opportunity, in the sense that his mother is already following the Vedic culture. She is taking prasad, she is going to temple, she is hearing Vedic mantras, and as soon as the baby gets out of the womb of his mother, he hears the kirtan of Lord, and that facility is there, that he has an advantage to get all these facilities. So, but it doesn't mean that if someone doesn't have this facility, he cannot approach Krishna. So just like one class is Brahmanas who have the advantage after who can get to Krishna, and also Krishna is saying about the mercantile community, or someone if is getting a birth in the family of business community, businessman, then he also has a chance to advance, because then he doesn't have to worry about the basic necessities of the life, which if we see most of the people in this world are struggling to achieve. Like we see 68% of the general population of the world almost goes hungry every time. They just get only one time food in a day, 68% of the world population. and most part of the population in the world, they are oppressed by the regimes wherever they are staying. That the government is very oppressive in the places where they are staying. So in that sense, we have so much freedom here in India that we can follow our chosen faith very freely. We have so much freedom, and but most of the time we don't take the advantage of this freedom. So as I was telling that just because someone has taken birth in a lower family, it doesn't disqualify him. He can surely uh, come to the higher stages of achieving Krishna consciousness and becoming pure, and that is possible by uh, proper association of devotees and training in Krishna consciousness. So these things can be very, very helpful. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of doctor, that uh, if a doctor has a son, it's a general tendency that his son may have an advantage to become doctor. But nowadays, we see the child want to do anything apart from what their parents is doing. He wants to do anything instead of what his parents are doing. But earlier, children used to keep their parents as their ideals, which whom they want to follow. They used to appreciate their Krishna consciousness or their faith, whatever they were doing, and they wanted to follow their parents. But nowadays, it's not so. So it's quite possible that a son of doctor may become a doctor, but it's not that just by taking birth in the family of doctor he becomes a doctor. He has to take proper education also. So so he has to take education. So in this, so similarly, even if someone is born in lower family, if he gets proper guidance, if he gets proper education, proper training, he can surely become pure, and he can go to a Brahmanical school, and he can take a shelter of a bona fide spiritual master coming in a disciplic succession, and he can also come to the standards of Brahmanical life. So becoming Brahman is just a question of training. So one Greek philosopher said that character is simply a habit long practiced. So since most of the people nowadays have Shudra habits or Shudra vocation, they become Shudras. But instead of that, if we can have Brahmanical tendencies or Brahmanical habits or Brahmanical culture, then it's quite possible that we can be elevated to that standard of life. And a very classic example of someone who is born in the lower family and who could have elevated himself is in the first canto of Bhagavatam, is of Sri Narad. Sri Narad Muni, he was born to a Shudrani. Of course, Narad is a eternally liberated soul, but just for the pastime of this instruction for all of us, he was born in the family of a Shudrani, and he was just like a ordinary child who is there like this in this world. But during Chaturmasa time, he got to serve as Prabhupada says, Bhakti Vedantas. He got to serve the saintly people whom his mother was serving. So Narad, in the first canto, it is said that where Narad, when he got the remnants of the food of the saintly people, as soon as Narad tasted it, he said that from that time onwards, I got attracted to the transcendentalist. So, such is the power of something which is a remnant of the foodstuffs of the saintly people. So, Srila Prabhupada also said in one of the purport that these three things are very, very elevating. If someone can get them, like the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee and the water which has washed the feet of a pure devotee, or if someone can get the remnants of his foodstuff. So these things can immediately elevate someone from a lower consciousness to a very very high level of consciousness. And this is very quite visible in the example of Sri Naradu, Sri Narad Muni. So Srila Prabhupada said many times about the Harijans in India, and a very prominent leader, a political leader or a freedom fighter in India, he coined this word Harijan, that that even the lower class people has the right to go to the temples and they have right to worship the deities, and they should also get all equal right as good as the Brahmanas, and he therefore termed them as Harijans. But he didn't give them any process of purification. He just gave them, just by giving some name, anyone cannot become, a pure person, or he just cannot be elevated just by changing their name. He didn't give them any process, although he used to carry a Bhagavad Gita with him always. So Srila Prabhupada gave a very good example in this regard, that if we take a dog and make him sit on a throne, on a king's throne, and we put a crown around his head, since the dog has a particular tendency, we just throw a bone in front of that dog and that dog will immediately jump for that bone. So it's not possible just by changing the name of a person that someone can become a Brahman, but he has to follow a particular process. Just like by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have this process and we are following it, which is helping us a lot in our spiritual life. So anyone may be low born or whatever his conditions in life, but in his deep rooted in everyone's heart, there is Krishna consciousness, there is love for God in everyone's heart. So, but only thing is, you need to cleanse your heart, like Cheto Darpan Marjanam. We have to, just like we take bath every day by soap, similarly we have to wash our mind by the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We can chant this mantra and cleanse our mind of all the dirt which has accumulated. So in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the residents of Jambudip offer this prayer: Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana Sarver Gunesh Tatra Samasate Sura. So this in this verse it says that anyone who becomes devotee of Krishna or devotee of God can have all good qualities of demigods. So it's quite possible that that if someone is practicing Krishna consciousness very seriously and following all the rules and regulation, so he can be put to the status of the demigods. And if we achieve this status, then it's quite possible that a person can be called as a Brahmana. So the onus lies on the disciple. Srila Prabhupada said that it's that ultimately you have to make the endeavor. The onus lies on the disciple. He has to practice the process which has been given to him very seriously. So as he practices and over a period of time, and he achieves Brahman initiation. And so this Brahman initiation is not that something that we just get some sacred thread and just like that we become Brahmanas. It's not that like that. We have, if someone is getting that Brahmanical initiation or second initiation or sacred thread, it's not that just by getting that we have achieved the status of Brahmanas. No, the race is not yet over. Just like that race of a rabbit and the turtle. So the turtle and rabbit, so the turtle was running the race very slowly, and the rabbit went ahead, quite ahead, and then he thought like this turtle is very slow, I can take some rest for some time. And the rabbit went to sleep. And the turtle was moving slowly, 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 and after some time, he almost reached the destination, and suddenly the rabbit woke up. And he saw that, okay, I slept, and I missed my goal. So he started running immediately, but that time, the rabbit has already crossed the finish line. So we should not think that, okay, now we have got this sacred thread, and now we have become Brahmanas. The only difference between us and the smart Brahmanas or people who call themselves from the Brahminical community is we have this good fortune. That's the only difference. We should not feel ourselves very proud that, okay, now we have come to this Krishna consciousness movement, and now we are very elevated and we have a very good process. No, it's not like that. We should always strive for better, what we can get more betterment. We should always strive for getting more and more benefit by this process of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and chanting the Gayatri mantra. So, so we can use the matter to achieve something what is transcendental. So Prabhupada said that we should use this matter to transcend the modes of material nature. But how do we do that? How do we use matter to transcend the modes of material nature? So Prabhupada gives a very classic example, that is of Dhruva Maharaj. So when Dhruva Maharaj was about to leave this world, so the Vaikuntha plane came to take him, and at the same time the death personified was also there. But Dhruva Maharaj took this opportunity and he climbed on the head of the death personified to enter into the Vaikuntha plane. So he used this as an opportunity. So just like this tree is there, we can cut some wood from the tree and we can make a handle, and we can put an axe on that handle, and we can use to chop off the tree. So similarly, we have to use this matter as a measure to achieve or to go into transcendence. Prabhupada said that goodness is not our ultimate aim. We have to go beyond. We have to achieve transcendence. And if we have to achieve transcendence, we should not limit ourselves to goodness, because the problem is mode of goodness is a material quality. Because in mode of goodness we may feel that, okay, we are vegetarians, we maintain cleanliness, and we have a very simple lifestyle. But mode of goodness make us comfortable. It makes us comfortable in our own zone. We don't want to progress any further. But Prabhupada said that we want to cross the mode of goodness. It's not that we have to just attain the mode of goodness. And we have to cross beyond, and we have to get into the Shuddha Sattva stage, that is pure transcendental stage. So, and there was a big debate about this during the time of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So, actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was supposed to address this debate, but due to his poor health, Bhaktivinoda Thakur could not go, and he sent his very qualified son, which is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to attend to this debate. And when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur reached there, he started glorifying the Brahmanas. He said that Brahmanas are the representative of God, they are God on earth, and they are representatives and they are very elevated. But he said, but mamcha vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samtiyetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Said that although someone may be born in the Brahmana family or like that, but ultimately it's the qualification which matters the most. And he started quoting like this many verses, and when the whole this gathering of Brahmanas, when they heard from Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, they gave him a standing ovation. And Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur was very much glorified over there. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur went there with his spiritual master, that is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who was sitting somewhere in the corner. And when these people started appreciating Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he said that I am not the one who should take the credit to all this. He said that there is my Guru and you should give all the credit to him. And they were surprised to see that the Brahmanas were surprised to see that he was sitting near the shoes where all the people have kept their shoes. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was sitting there and he was continuously chanting the holy names. And when these devotees, everyone saw that everyone paid attention towards Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he just ran off from that place. When he got the attention of everyone, immediately he left that place. So it's quite important that we should be striving to achieve more than the mode of goodness, and we should get elevated to more higher position, because Brahmana is not, or Brahmanika stand is not something which someone can achieve by birth. So there is a very famous story which many times you would all would have heard also, and just yesterday morning also Prabhupada's lecture, Prabhupada telling that Guru was approached by his disciple, and so the Guru said that I only instruct those people who are Brahmanas or who are born in higher family. So he asked that boy, what is the name of your father? So when the boy was asked like that, he didn't knew. So he went to his mother and he asked his mother that, can you please tell me who is my father? So the mother said that I don't know, I had relations with many men. So that boy went back to his Guru and he said that I don't know. My mother says that she doesn't know who is my father. So the Guru said that you are a real Brahman, because your qualification is that you are honest. You didn't lie. So Brahmana is something which becomes by a qualification. So there is a very famous story which Srila Prabhupada tells in Vrindavan, that in earlier days one devotee went to do some kirtan in a temple there in Vrindavan. And when this devotee finished the puja, he went to the pujari, and the pujari said that I pray to Lord that in your next birth you become you take your birth in Vrindavan and you worship the deities here. So this devotee became very happy and he went to Prabhupada and he said to Prabhupada that this pujari blessed me like that. Prabhupada said that instead of hearing this thing, he said that you should have told him that instead of my taking this kind of birth, he said that I bless you that in the next birth you take your birth in America and you become a devotee of ISKCON. So Prabhupada said that you should have told him like that. So in our mission statement also, so what is our mission statement? Prabhupada told many times that books are the basis and preaching is the essence, utility is the principle, and what is the force? Purity is the force. So we have to maintain that purity, that purity if we, because as I was saying in the start of this lecture, that to preach effectively to the general populace, and if we have to reach to their heart, and if we want that some change has to happen, we have to have this purity. And what is that purity? Which Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, samodama tapassaucham shantirarjavam evacha. So that purity has to be maintained. So we get this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which itself is quite sufficient. If someone doesn't even get a Gayatri mantra, although nowadays all the mantras, all the Gayatri mantras are available on internet, and someone was telling me, one devotee was telling me this. He met, he saw some devotee, some person who was chanting Gayatri mantra. So he asked him, "You don't seem to be second initiated. How you are chanting Gayatri?" So he said that I got all the mantras from internet, and he was chanting like that all the mantras. So then he said that my guru is internet, so that I get all the mantras from internet. So all the Gayatri's mantras may be available. So even if someone doesn't get the Gayatri mantra, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is sufficient to take anyone back to Godhead. But if we have that, Gayatri mantra, or we have that second initiation, it's very helpful, especially for those who preach, who have to do deity worship. It's very important. So Srila Prabhupada said that Gayatri mantra removes all the doubts and speculations from the mind. Whatever speculations and whatever doubts one may have, the Gayatri mantra is able to remove all those. So although the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in itself is sufficient, so there is this verse which comes in Padma Puran which says that Sampradaya Vihinaye Mantraste Nishphala. So if we don't have the mantra from a bona fide disciplic succession, from a bona fide guru coming from a bona fide disciplic succession, even if that be the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it will be ineffective. Srila Prabhupada says this. He says that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra will surely be able to remove all the sinful desires in some person's mind, all the material desires it will be able to remove. But if you want to achieve prem, you have to have a spiritual master in a bona fide succession, from whom you can get this mantra. So in conclusion, I would like to say that although we may have the second initiation, but that doesn't mean that we have become Brahmanas. We have to strive throughout our life till the end. So I was telling, still the race is over, it's not over. So we have to strive till the end of our life. And it is the duty, Srila Prabhupada said that it is the duty of the first class men to make even the fifth class of men first class. So how we can become the first class men? By chanting, by this process, by association of devotees, by training, by following the instructions of the spiritual master, and if we have this Gayatri mantra over above that, it's a booster. It will surely help us. It will act as a booster to our chanting. We can get lot of benefits. We can even get more purified. We can do deity worship, and so it can be very, very helpful. So thank you so much. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki. If anyone has any question, doubts, corrections, comments. Srila Prabhupada ki.